Southeast Texas Weekly, brought to you by the Modern Vein Surgery Institute at Privity Clinic for Surgical Care.
And we're ready to talk politics. I'm Kevin Steele. Good to have you with us here on Southeast Texas Weekly. To come on today's program, Talking Politics, let's go to our full screen. We'll see a little bit of what's coming up. We'll be talking immigration reform in this half hour. We'll be talking with some of the key candidates around the area. 36th Congressional District candidate Ben Strusand joining us, along with Ross Ward from the Liberty County GOP. Chuck Darby will be telling us about the open carry march on the way, and we'll be talking a number of other issues as well. Joining us to do so, Kent Batman, Hardin County GOP Chair. Good to see you, sir.
Great to be here, Kevin.
We've also got Godfrey Leggett, who is here as acting in the role this week of Democratic activist. Also, Michael Lindsay, mournful Denver Broncos fan.
Yes.
And attorney with Lindsay and Parsons.
Still good to be here.
So sorry. You have our deepest condolences for what happened to the Broncos.
Thank you.
He doesn't seem, maybe I didn't seem sincere with that, but I really went.
Probably not enough.
We know you're sincere, Ken.
I really am. You know what? Bill O'Reilly, Fox News channel anchor, says he has had an interview with the president that will go down in journalistic history. We begin there. Was it, in fact, the kind of interview that will be remembered for the ages? Kent Batman.
Well, sure it will. It was a sitting president with a far left lean, and it was a journalist known for being very conservative. And he asked questions that were not.
I really wouldn't characterize Obama as far left. He could be a lot more left to suit me. But
Double far leftist, and Bill O'Reilly, who would be right of center.
More far left. What were the issues appropriate? Was Bill O'Reilly's approach and tone in the interview correct?
You know, I think that's the part that will be for the ages, is it's going to be a classic interview of how to be disrespectful to the president and the office of the president. And I think that the press, and particularly Bill O'Reilly, has set a dangerous and bad course for interviews with the president, the attitude that he took throughout the interview.
I agree with Michael. He looked pretty bad. You know, he's trying
evidently, Godfrey, the presidents are not to be harshly criticized any longer.
You can criticize.
Or held to.
You should show some respect for the office.
It was not just the questions, but the tone and the attitude throughout the interview. Bill O'Reilly's superiority and the way he was schooling the president like
O'Reilly
a child.
should have been
Well,
far
like,
more
I've got you now.
deferential.
You can't answer this question, but he did answer the question.
Did he answer the question?
Yes.
Well, there's not a smidgen of anything. Just remember, there's not a smidgen.
Yes,
Now,
not a
keep in
smidgen
mind,
of.
he's not involved. It didn't come from the White House, but he knows there wasn't a smidgen of corruption.
On the
Is it
matter of
in or out?
content.
In or out?
On the matter of content, even.
I'm sure
Godfrey,
he investigated it afterwards.
Was there is there a smidgen of a reason to investigate what happened in Benghazi?
No, same thing. It's more stuff that Republicans come up with, trying to throw at Obama and see if something will stick.
What to make of the
when
the
it first
IRS
happened, you
question?
told me that he was going to be impeached, and it didn't happen. Not only that, he got reelected.
Now, I want to remind everybody, though, that Godfrey
That
said
was a
the
joke,
IRS
by the way. Let's state that
serious.
on the air for
it's
once, Godfrey. That was a
reality.
joke about 6 months ago that you
longer than
repeated
that.
over and over
Kevin,
again.
I want to remind everybody, though, Godfrey is the one that said the IRS scandal is the thing that we need to take serious. It is wrong when government
It is wrong, but it was an individual at the IRS exceeding his authority.
And
okay?
when that individual is fired, we'll all feel a lot better. So far, nothing's happened with it.
Kevin, at the end of the day, these scandals with Benghazi and the Internal Revenue Service, the allegations of Darrell Ice are just insane, crazy. Here we are a year later still talking about them, and there's no merit to them.
There
There's
are
a lot more
insane
important
questions
stuff.
to ask
people died.
why there was no follow-up to protect the 4 Americans that died in Benghazi. What is insane?
People
what is
died,
unreasonable about
but
that question?
We've had 150 U.S. installations, embassies, and outposts around the world attacked. We've had 120 investigations in congressional
You're saying that
hearings.
the level of inquiry is too much as opposed to the fundamental question about what happened.
Well,
There have been 10 times the number of inquiries on Benghazi is the investigation of all the other incidents put together, and that's insane.
Is
Yeah,
it
in all
insane to talk
probability,
about Obamacare in that interview?
It's not insane to talk about any of this stuff. And keep in mind, with Benghazi, we know who did it. They were interviewed. No,
in
those
all
guys haven't been
probability,
arrested,
the
and
CIA
supposedly
thing
our
was
president
was
said he wouldn't be held
Benghazi-
accountable.
The Benghazi thing was probably a CIA op, and they really didn't want anybody talking about it, okay? Because they were trying to sneak something through over there.
And they don't run it by the president who says those people will be brought to
The
justice.
CIA does all kinds of things that past presidents haven't known about, Bush included, okay?
So what you're saying is our president should be smart enough to not make a statement like that.
Well, when you have a government within a government operating, like the CIA and the NSA are,
That
you
would
know?
be Obama, the CIA,
No,
and
no,
the
no,
NSA.
no,
He
no.
does- He's,
We
he's
need to have
outside
a-
the government?
we need
The
a lot
president of the United
more-
States
we
is
need-
outside of the government?
No, I'm saying that we need a lot more scrutiny of the NSA and the CIA and what they do.
No, he is exactly right on that.
Well put at last. We're going to take a quick break. Political passions of fire back on Southeast Texas Weekly right after this break. Stay with us.